Runner Space and Dystat here with the Steeplechase champion going to Paris, Val Constien. Val, you've already been an Olympian, but this one must be a little bit more special because you won this trials. How does it feel?
I mean, you pretty much summed it up. Yeah, I've already done it once before, but this time is just so sweet, especially considering how hard last year was with the torn ACL and not being able to be here and just kind of being on the comeback train for the last year. It's just so special to be here.
What did that recovery look like and how intense was it to get you back so quickly?
I mean, I just took my time. I was just really patient. I didn't rush anything. I listened to the surgeon's advice and I was just really patient, and that patience paid off. I had to be patient in the race today and it paid off, so really happy.
Yeah, to get a PR like you did today, I mean, that's just amazing. Were you surprised by running such a fast race and dragging along so many people to PBs?
Well, you have Courtney to thank for dragging everyone along. I just kind of took over in the last 300. I mean, I knew it was going to be fast. Yesterday, or during my prelim 2 days ago, I predicted that a sub 9:10, you'd have to run sub 9:10 to make the team, and you did. So I knew it was going to be fast. Did I think I was going to run 9:03? No, but I mean, I feel like I'm just starting to kind of reach my potential and kind of figure out how good I am, and so hopefully I can just keep it going.
Were you surprised at how dominant you were over the last 300?
I'm a pretty good closer, and so I knew that if I was in the mix in the last 300, it would be pretty tough to beat me. Courtney was looking at the splits, and it looked like I closed maybe in like a 65 or something, and so for a steeplechase, that's pretty good. And yeah, I'm very confident in my kick, and so I knew I had it in me, and so really happy.
Did it feel that fast out there on the ground?
I wasn't paying attention. I was just telling myself that I believed in myself and that I needed to stay relaxed, and I just kind of let my body do the rest.
When did you feel completely healthy from your knee injury?
Probably in March. I started to really feel like I was kind of a little bit back to normal, but probably actually closer to April, because in March I was still kind of dealing with some weird aches and pains after steeplechase workouts, and then finally in April it all started to come together. So
was this pushing it at all, getting this fit?
Nope, I never pushed myself. I really just listened to my body, and I was extra picky, took it day by day, did my PT, and it just came together at the right time. But it was really patience. I didn't have to do anything crazy to get here.
At what point were you cleared to run?
My surgeon told me that I could start, according to everyone, the ACL, it takes like 16 weeks to get to a point where you could start running on the ground. So I had to wait 4 months post-op. So I had surgery on May 23rd, and I had to wait 4 months basically until I could start running on the ground. So I didn't really start running on the ground until September. And it was a very, very slow, arduous process. But like I said, I never did anything crazy. I didn't push anything. I just listened to my body, and I didn't have any hiccups along the way, so really lucky.
Was that hard to do, knowing that the trials were 13 months after you had the surgery, to be patient?
I didn't think I was going to be here, to be perfectly honest. I was like, well, it's a bummer I'm going to miss 2024, but at least I'll be healthy for 2025. And so I think that taking that pressure off and just really focusing on trying to be healthy and do everything right was how I got to this point. Is I wasn't rushing to get back into it. I was giving myself time, and like I said, it all just came together really well.
So when did the trials feel like a reality again? Something that you would actually be able to do?
Probably after I did my first race at the end of April. I went to some race in California. I forget which. I did a 1500 in California in the rain, and I was just like really nervous, and I didn't know how it was going to go. And then that 1500 went really well, and then a month later I decided to do my first steeplechase. And after the first steeplechase that I did at Sound Running, I was like, wow, I qualified for the Olympic Trials. This is awesome. I'll get to participate. And then after pre, I was like, okay, I'm going to probably do more than participate at the trials.
But before pre, you weren't really thinking you were going to be a contender?
No, I was just like, it'll be fun. Like, I'll see how good I can get. And then after pre, I was like, okay, wow, yep, this will happen.
Do you think, in some aspect, being so lighthearted about the whole, qualification period, obviously now competing for the win?
Yeah.
Do you think that helped you?
Oh, definitely. I think that this should just be fun, right? And for me, it always has just been fun. It's just been this fun thing that I get to do. I mean, I work a full-time job and I do this as like my side hustle, right? And so it's always kind of been lighthearted. And the years that it wasn't lighthearted were the years that I didn't really run that well. And so for me, I've always just had to, just take it race by race, day by day, and just focus on having good days and not going crazy hard in anything and just trying to have fun.
I think it's really interesting how many storylines in steeplechase have revolved around people getting injured, and then you come from someone who was injured back to the trials and you get the win. What are your thoughts on that? Like, have you thought about that at all?
I think it's a really cool story, and I hope that people also think it's a cool story. I mean, I thought it would be an interesting story, so I actually created like a YouTube channel about it. So I actually have some YouTube videos from right after I got my surgery and YouTube videos that kind of documented the whole recovery process, because I thought it would be a cool story one way or another. And so if you want to check it out, if you want to know more about my story, you can check out my YouTube channel, I guess. I don't make a whole lot of videos now because I don't feel like I need to. My races are kind of speaking for themselves, but during those months where I was recovering, I wanted to say something.
What's your full-time job?
My channel is Val Constien on YouTube. Check it out. My full-time job, I work at a tech company called Stride. I'm wearing them on my feet, and I do quality assurance, and I work with the product team. So pretty cool.
How did you get into 903 shape 1 year after surgery?
Just not doing anything too crazy, right? Like, I do what my coaches tell me to do. So if they tell me to run 400s in 74s, I run them in 74s. I don't need to show off. I don't need to do anything crazy. Run like 70 miles a week. Just try to stay happy and healthy.
How many miles a week have you been running? Kind of lead up to this.
Like 60. So just trying to feel good.
I think looking at who is in the field, like Chrissy Gear, the reigning champion, she drops out, she's injured. There's no Emma, there's no Courtney. How is it that it took 907 to still make this team? Like, what's going on to US Steepling to get to that level, even without some of these big players?
I mean, Emma and Courtney Frericks paved the way. Without them, we wouldn't have such a high bar, right? And so everyone's aspiring, everyone's inspired by them. And so I think that without them, there's no way that we could have done what we did here today. But I think it would have been tough. If they were in the race, we would have had even more competition, but they're amazing, and I can't wait for them to come back because, well, it's not cold. It's going to be hot when they come back, so that'll be fun.
It's the first time since 2008 that Emma Coburn and Courtney Frericks have gone this event.
Yep.
What does that kind of speak volumes to what they've really done for this event in the United States history?
I mean, they're titans, right? They're the best ever. They both individually are regarded as the best American steeplechasers in their own regard. I mean, Courtney Frericks has the record, the American record, and Emma is the most highly decorated, U.S. runner, arguably ever. And so it's sad that they're not there, but we've all been inspired by them, and so in a sense they will be there. Like when I was on the Olympic team with both of them last time I got to go, and so I've learned so much from them in that experience, and all of us are going to be thinking about them while we're there.
Since they've been on the podium and now you've run this 903, what confidence does it give you to potentially get a spot on the podium?
I'm not going to think that far ahead. I'm just going to go back to Boulder and get back to work, do some training, try to feel good, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, the steeplechase is a crazy event, right? People fall down, people get back up, some people don't finish the race, and you never know what can happen. And I guess I just ran a 903, and so that's pretty good, but you've got these amazing international women who are running sub 9. And so it's like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. If they can close in a 65 like me, then we'll have a real race on our hands, but I'm not gonna think too far ahead in the future.
What are your